You could.
It's good to know that David's a god, though. I will say that.
No, all my creations are dead.
Yes. Well, you've killed them all. You're a god. That's according to me too.
Yeah. Can't have a biohazard out there. I did feel bad though. I really. It's not like, oh no. It's not like I strangled my own puppy underwater, but
Oh my god.
I felt a little bad because because on a philosophical level, to create something to just annihilate it. What gives you the right?
True. I go.
And I thought to myself, is that all we are to God? Fucking a petri dish.
That's a good philosophical question, though. I will say that.
But instead of destroying us like a responsible person would have, he just walked away.
Yeah. let us.
And maybe that is our punishment.
Let us grow in that petri dish.
Divine absence is our punishment.
There you go.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Scarpino from Kinda Funny. You're watching Musing with Menchaca. This is Luis Menchaca, and he's about to feed me a mint. That's right. You heard me right.
Okay. There we go. Oh no, God!
No, come on, make it work.
Okay.
Be sexy with the audience.
Okay.
It's crunchy.
What's your topic?
Eric, what's your topipic?
Vaccinations and anti-vaxxers.
Yes. All right.
It's gonna get intense. I need to think of a controversial topic because I need to compete with medical marijuana and vaccinations.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't know why people don't vaccinate their kids.
They're stupid.
It's like they don't remember.
They're stupid and they don't love them. They don't love their children.
Like it's like, do they not remember polio, measles, nothing?
Millions dead. Millions. God.
Okay,
Just imagine if they had a vaccination for the Black Plague.
I honestly think that's gonna, if that becomes a thing, our human population problem is gonna get a little bit resolved in the United States if this continues.
So
it only takes a little bit of time for a vulnerable population of a certain density for there to be what's called an outbreak. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we'll respond well to it, but people are gonna die. And polio, oh God, I hope you die. I hope you die because it's gonna break my heart if you survive and you are paralyzed or you're in you remember the iron lung.
Yeah, the
the iron lung. Go ahead and post a picture of a kid in the iron lung. That's what can happen to your kids. Fuck. Just dumbasses. I just know.
So I pulled up an article, fact or fiction, ? Vaccines are dangerous. That's the name of the article.
You know what's more dangerous? The disease itself.
Stupidity. I would say stupidity is the world's largest killer.
That is true.
By age 2, most children receive almost 30 shots designed to boost a child's natural defense against disease. Yet at the same time, parents who take their children for those recommended vaccinations might be inundated with website and celebrity espoused rumors making false claims that shots are not necessary or they cause autism. That's bullshit. This is the fucking kind of propaganda shit that shows up on the internet.
But here's the thing: you as a scientist, you can't ever say, "No, that sounds stupid." You have to look into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have to look into it.
There's got to be studies.
Yes, but that's why you cite your sources.
Cite sources.
Cite your sources. Read into it, and God, I had to do a few project on vaccinations. I think it was my endocrinology class, but they work. Yeah. Vaccines work to different degrees. Okay, that's why some vaccines you need boosters, some you don't. Some vaccines are lifelong, some aren't. And contrary to popular belief, just because you have the vaccine doesn't mean you're immune.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes it only works 90% of the time. So you're talking about 10% of people who have the vaccine, who have had the vaccine, okay? They are vaccinated. They didn't develop quite enough of immunity response to that vaccine. So they are still susceptible. But by getting 90% of the population well vaccinated and immunized to this pathogen, you're decreasing the disease in the population.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's going to happen? What is going to happen with these people who aren't vaccinating their kids? They're creating a vulnerable population. All right. There's already a small population out there that of the vaccinated children that aren't immune. And now you're increasing the population that aren't immune by far. So all it takes is one little outbreak, one little guy to put it out there, and it will spread like wildfire. Just because you had the vaccine doesn't mean you won't even get sick. Sometimes you're well immunized to it, but it takes a while for those antibodies to be in production, and so you have a bit of a delay. Now, most people without a vaccine will take about 2 weeks to get a good response to something because they have all those proteins out there, the antibodies. But even with the vaccine, it may take a day or two, maybe 3 days for your body to really start producing back those antibodies that it knows. So it's going to spread. It's going to spread, and the people that are just naturally, even though they had the vaccine, they're not immune. They're going to suffer. And it's going to be facilitated by the population that have not been vaccinated, and they are also going to suffer.
And they will die, depending on the disease.
Depending on the disease.
Yeah.
There are things that can kill you, and mumps could sterilize you.
Shit.
Measles can kill you. Chicken pox can kill you.
What?
Yeah, chicken pox can kill you if you don't. If you get it as an adult, I believe.
If you get it as an adult, you could die.
Oh my god, I'm all itching.
I'm pretty sure you got the shot.
Back in the day, back in the day, when a kid got chicken pox, all the mothers sent their kid to go play with that kid. Even if that kid didn't want to fucking play, go play with the kid, lick the kid, because if he gets sick now, it's gonna be a little bit of a fever, it's a little itching. Try to keep from scratching to avoid scarring, but you won't die when you're an adult.
Yeah.
From chickenpox, and chickenpox is airborne. Chickenpox.
It's airborne. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Everyone gets it.
I thought it was contact.
No.
Yeah, and you know what's fucked up? The pustules could release a lot of the virus. So.
No, but I was gonna say there's also this other stupid theory I hear about you hear when people talk about that dumb ignorant people. They was like, oh yeah, it's the way government's way to control you or to track you. I'm like,
well, the polio vaccination is not even it's not trademarked.
It's not copyrighted or whatever.
They patented it. It's not
patented.
patented.
Yeah, he didn't patent it because he thought that would limit its production and limit people getting access to it. So he threw away so much
millions, if not billions of dollars.
To billions.
Billions of dollars.
He threw away a lot of money because he said no. This should be out there.
This is a public good. This is something that everyone should have. And he's basically, what do you call it? Altruistic? Is that altruistic behavior? Is that what they call it? Altruism.
I'd say so.
Altruism.
Yeah.
He did.
Is it? Was he being altruistic or was he being like?
Yes, he was acting in a higher level of good.
Okay, I'm making
not
sure.
just to his own benefit. He was acting at a higher level of consciousness as far as good for the greater good.
The greater good, yeah. So should more people act that way? Should more medical people act that way? At least medically.
Yeah, but sadly, those aren't the people you find in the medical profession these days.
See last episode. All I
gotta say refer to
that last episode on the topic of what was it? What was the topic? It was about David's medical, like David Dr. Suck. It was like I forgot when he's.
Oh, it was the
Ebola.
The Ebola. Nina Pham.
Nina Pham. The Nina Pham topic. He talks about the doctors themselves.
I don't hate doctors. I really don't. Medical doctors, because there's a lot of people who can have doctorates and not be.
Not
be doctors.
Medical doctors. If they do their job, they do their job well, fine. They're good. They're okay. They're okay in my book. But that's a lot of times.
40% of the time, if that, you're gonna get like them.
Well, just pay attention to what your doctor says.
Well, like whenever
if your doctor can't remember your name,
right? True.
There's a problem.
If
your doctor can't remember what you said to him last and why you're giving him the updates, and he has to constantly review that check mark, even though this has been a recurring issue, there's something wrong.
Oh, look at that! I'm getting a FaceTime call right now. Let's take a look here.
What are they?
Somebody's FaceTiming me. My
cousin. You dumb shit. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? You're in the we're live on the podcast. I could probably figure out a way to freaking. Oh, I have the volume down. Let me turn the volume up. There we go. Oh yeah, you're in Mexico. Oh snaps. Nice.
Why are you in Mexico?
He's in Mexico for spring break.
Oh.
Oh, it is spring break.
Yeah, it is spring break.
Yeah.
Who's all there? Is it who's in the podcast?
Oh, the usual. I got the radical thinker Eric and the scientist David.
Hey,
What's up?
what's going on?
Beer in hand, I see.
I'll get out of your way. Podcast.
Yeah.
No, hey, it was good seeing you. If I had like a capture, if I had a capture, I would have embedded you in the video. But it was nice. I don't have a capture. I don't have a way of capturing it. But whatever.
I thought you ordered the part.
Get a capture card, man. That's what you get.
Yeah. All right. Well, like.
I'll talk to you later.
Actually, you know what?
Okay,
Actually, you know what? Your audio is coming just fine. I'll put the speaker to the microphone.
But you can't put a
There's
face
no
to
feedback.
it.
There's no feedback though. I thought there was. You said there was gonna be something about feedback.
No, I said there's nothing but a face. I mean, there's no face.
Podcast live from Mexico. If you guys would
From
want.
Mexico.
I mean, I'm down.
Yeah, but
I have perfect connection here.
yeah, we need to
All
try
right.
to cover subjects though.
All right. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, I'll talk to you later. I'll probably FaceTime you when I'm done with the podcast. All right. Good connection. Bad connection there. Laters.
Third world country internet.
Third world country. All right. So yeah, that was cool. We actually heard
One
him.
of their-
I heard him just fine.
One of the excuses that anti-vaxxers have is that our immune systems have been building for millions of years, and that there's no need for vaccinations. Like our bodies will fight it off by themselves. And I'm like,
Okay.
that went well for everybody during the Black Plague. You know, I mean,
Well,
only
it-
what 40% of the population
true.
died.
It is true that we have immune systems that have been developing for millions of years, and that they do work. And that's why vaccines work, because they make our immune system work.
Mhm.
All right, it says, hey, this is what's out there. So when you encounter it
You
in
know what
real
to do.
life, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Versus that having to not just rely on your innate immunity, which doesn't cover much. Covers a lot, but not the stuff that there are a lot of things that can still kill you. But your adaptive immunity, which takes again 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's a long time to die.
So let me ask you this, David. As a microbiologist, you've made bacteria. You've created them.
I've cultured bacteria.
You've cultured
Yeah.
bacteria. Have you ever made a vaccine to any of your bacteria? Or have
Not-
you actually tried?
I tried. But there's nothing of relevance I think I can really say on the podcast. There's
Okay.
nothing that.
All right, that's good to
yeah.
know. But there you
But
go.
I it's not something I've had to do. I've been. That's something that you need to be have approved for human trials and
Oh,
go
yeah,
through
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It takes
true.
a long time. Takes a lot of money. Could you make a vaccine on your first attempt with the right material? Yeah, you could. It's not that very high tech as much as you.
Making a weakening version.
For example,
of
if
your-
let's say you had a certain bacterium that doesn't have endotoxins, that just by breaking it apart in your body won't kill you, which there's a lot that can. You could culture it. You could get some of the proteins isolated out by centrifuging it. Get some of the proteins, eliminating the DNA by UV lamp, UV radiation, destroying the DNA. And try not to denature the proteins, because that's what you want. You want the antigens out there. You want the proteins that are on that animal that have a certain keyhole, if you will, so you can make your keys to it.
yeah.
And that's what you do. So viruses, like for example the polio virus, you culture it in eggs.
Yeah, that's how, like, the flu shots, they're cultured in eggs too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. There you go.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, no, but
And
I'm
all
just saying,
you
like,
need is a bit of an incubator
Yeah,
and some eggs and a virus. You can culture virus. Yes.
yeah. So, but
I
like,
do not recommend anybody doing that.
yeah, like,
though.
don't try this shit at home.
Do not
like,
do not
even-
culture virus at home.
But like, but the thing is, you would declare yourself a god because you've created a bacteria yourself. Like, that's been just created.
If you were to alter its DNA in some way, yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that you've made-
you've destroyed your own creations. I understand.
I did
destroy
genetically modify a bacteria one time for a project.
Yeah.
And once I was done with the project, I didn't.
You didn't just dump it. You don't dump it in a lake or something
The
like
aim
that.
of that experiment wasn't to create a new bacterium. It was to identify a bacteria that you could not readily grow, 98% of the bacteria in the world you can't grow in the lab. You will not be able to grow it in the lab. We know it exists because we can isolate its enzymes, and we could say, oh, well, this is unique. We can even isolate enough DNA, but we can't even culture it. How do you think we're going to study it? So you basically make a half-breed between something that can grow like a bat out of hell versus something that doesn't want to grow at all, and you give it some of the DNA. In this case, I used E. coli.
Oh,
And
shit.
I put some
Literally,
of this,
shit.
and I had I think it was Bacillus subtilis that I used into Escherichia coli.
I swear to God, I hope there's a scientist out there watching. He's taking notes.
Well, it's not. If there is, they'll know it's nothing impressive. It's I actually isolated from the water. You know that creek by
Yeah, the
UGA?
little creek. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
I got some of that water, some of the soil, and I isolated bacteria from there. Okay, and it grows incredibly slowly. When you're used to growing cool like bacteria, like pathogens, like of the human body, staph, salmonella, E. coli,
You're just used to like multiplying.
strep, all these things. Yeah, they'll
Just explodes.
in one day, I have like a full petri dish of stuff that I can use.
Right.
This took a week, and I had little bitty specks of colonies. It was not a cooperative bacteria. And I was able to take some of that DNA, and insert it into certain bacteria. Okay, and it's not a guaranteed thing. Okay, but once you culture it, you'll see which ones. We use a technique that if they were blue, they don't have it, but if they come out as white colonies, it turns out they did accept the DNA insertion because you caused an error. You're inserting it to where in the middle of a pigment creating gene. So if you were to insert it, you basically disrupt a pigment gene and saying, okay, it's no longer capable of making a pigment, but it did accept my DNA that I was trying to put in it. So you'll see blue colonies, and then that one white one. You know that one white one, you fucked up the gene, which means you really put in the DNA, which means there's your
mutation.
There's your genetically engineered
Yeah.
bacteria.
Nice.
And I was able to grow enough of that bacteria to get enough DNA to be able to get a genome outprint of the original bacteria, so I can identify it and,
There you go.
write a paper about it. But at the end of the day, you don't release your bacteria, even though you destroy it. You autoclave it and you kill it.
There you go.
And I did have a little bit of a moral dilemma there.
Really?
Yeah,
Because you created something that's alive.
Everyone didn't care. Everyone's all like, "Oh, it's just destroy it. It's whatever." We petri dish all the time. I killed so many bacteria that semester because I was working as a TA, I was a teaching assistant. I would say I killed more bacteria than there have ever been human beings alive on Earth ever. Okay, by
He's
far.
a mass murderer.
A mass murder of bacteria. And
So- Extinction
It's
level.
there's like a little image I'm gonna put him on screen. It's like kill one man, you're a murderer, kill or something like that, and then it's like,
kill a million.
you're a
It's
god or something.
no.
like that.
If you kill a man, it's a tragedy. You kill a million, it's a statistic.
No, like let me.
That was Stalin, I think.
Well, there was a Mewtwo. It was like a little Mewtwo image and stuff like that. Where it was like,
Yeah,
it was like
I
kill
think
a million
Mewtwo was quoting Stalin.
Yeah.
Weird.
I want to
Yeah,
find that.
and I thought to myself, I took actually most people just put their petri dishes on the big rack, so the TA in that lab could just take them and destroy them. But I specifically took mine and killed it myself. Because I did feel like this is the first time, and again, this was during my undergrad. Was the first time I genetically modified, and it's a long process. This took place over weeks because you had to take steps at it. I had bacteria that never existed before because, again, they've been changed. They're literally two bacteria put into one, and it's its own little category here. And I thought, this is mine. This is my creation. I am their god. I am their god. And now I have to kill them because,
I'm done with it.
regulation.
Greg, yeah.
So you have to be responsible as a scientist. You can't just say, I'm just gonna throw this in the water, because who knows what kind of environmental mayhem it could ensue. So,
I found the image here. It says,
so I did do that. I did kill them.
kill a man, one is a murderer. Kill a million, a conqueror. Kill them all, a god.
Okay,
Mewtwo.
sounds like
Mewtwo.
Mewtwo. Sounds like Mewtwo.
Yeah, sounds like something
There
Mewtwo
you
would
go.
say.
Sounds like something Mewtwo would say.
Yes, there you go. See about the images. It's been on screen for a while, but yeah.
But yeah, so you could, but not everyone has like in their room test tubes and petri dishes and crucibles and an incubator and a UV lamp that hits that right, nanometer to the nanometer wavelength in order to disrupt DNA and not denature proteins. Most people in the United States do not have these things, so they would not be able to make a vaccine. But it's interesting to know that if you can, you could.
Well,
You could.
It's good to know that David's a god, though. I will say that.
No, all my creations are dead.
Yes. Well, you've killed them all. You're a god. That's according to Mewtwo.
Yeah. You can't have a biohazard out there. I did feel bad though. It's not like, oh no, it's not like I strangled my own puppy underwater, but
Oh my god.
I felt a little bad because on a philosophical level, to create something to just annihilate it, what gives you the right?
True. I go.
And I thought to myself, is that all we are to God? Fucking a petri dish.
That's a good philosophical question, though. I will say that.
But instead of destroying us like a responsible person would have, he just walked away.
Yeah.
Let us.
And maybe that is our punishment.
Let us grow in that petri dish.
Divine absence is our punishment.
There you go. Well, that's a good topic on vaccinations.
So pro-vaccination.
Pro-vaccination. I mean,
Definitely.
This is definitely like people are idiots on the internet talking about that stupid shit. Though I mean, it's just really.
Yeah,
It's all like
I should say I've met two of these people.
that actually believe that.
Yes, and they have two, actually now three children.
Children.
At the time, I only really met two of the children.
Third one died.
No, she wasn't born yet. But
Okay.
I did meet them, and I spoke to them. I heard them out, and this was before they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm in school. What are you in school for? Microbiology. And then they had that blank look like, oh, so you're the guy. You're one of them.
You're the enemy.
You're the enemy. And I'm like, okay, I understand you're all about your fucking Whole Foods and shit over here, but you're taking a risk with your children's lives.
You might as well just give them a gun.
I'm surprised the children weren't sick when you were talking to them and meeting them. Like hi, mister.
They had very strange ways about raising their kids. I mean, to each their own. But they were very much.
You make them sound like hippies or something like
they're
that. Like,
very much hippies.
You make them sound like
they're
they're free spirits. That's all they are.
They were hippies.
These children. They
half
need to
the
go
time, and I'm not friends with them, so I really doubt that they'll ever see this podcast. But half the time I was talking to them, their kid was just running around naked.
What?
Yeah, just running around naked because clothes or whatever, and they were trying to potty train her without a pamper or something, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not around for a lot of the accidents, but whatever. And if they were the spokespeople for anti-vaccination, you'd realize how crazy of an idea it was because they were not within the realm of not crazy. They were almost a little bit in the realm of crazy, and in between not crazy. It's very strange. Their dietary habits. I mean,
What were the reasons for not vaccinating?
they thought it causes problems and that it's an unnecessary thing. And I thought that's, a lot of talk coming from two generations removed from polio and a generation removed from smallpox, all these, big talk. We got a lot of brave people walking around here talking shit about vaccines. But the day will come because it's inevitable. If you live in society that something's going to get you sick. And the United States is a very convenient place for you to talk high and mighty. Because you're not in countries that have still existing concentrations of these diseases that you're going to get and you're going to suffer and you could die or worse.
There you go. All right. That's that topic.